It's good solid stuff for Sarfraz.
The other thing that's important is to always have a solid base. What's noticeable with Sarfraz is he's always walking into the shot. You watch him play the defensive shot and walk after the ball. So just try and have nice solid movements, solid base, and yep, there it is. The pair in Centurion. For him, he'll want to get off, get a run in the series, get something going. It's amazing the difference between 0 and 1. Your own mental state as a batter.
That's a good shot. That's really well played. Fine stroke indeed. That'll help enormously.
Yeah, a soft delivery from Philander. He had the man under pressure and just dished up a wide long hop, which suits Sarfraz's game. Nice grin from him. He'll take a deep breath now. Breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, you always know. You always know as a batter. And the interesting thing was his batting partner. He was smiling too, and you're both going to smile at shots like these. And you push for 3. Good shots, the back foot, or off the front foot. That'll settle the captain. Hazy, you're right. It's just about getting through to the lunch break here. 5 down. It's been Faf du Plessis in South Africa's morning for sure. Putting Pakistan into bat. We needed 3 wickets, maybe 4 wickets. 5 wickets is an absolute bonus.
It's not been a good over from Philander. We've seen the long hop, we see that cover drive with the floating away swinger. It's going to be interesting to watch how he comes back in this test match. Not played a lot of 4-day cricket, 5-day cricket, a few injuries. It's always the second, third and fourth spells that test the body of a fast bowler, time in the legs.
End of that over from Vernon Philander, 64 for 5.
Replacing Ullafield with Dale Steyn. Just as you get through Ullafield bowling rockets and those bumpers, you go back to South Africa's greatest wicket taker. Just before lunch, he's been talking about getting through to lunch. The opening pair. Steyn bowling from a different end now. He's bowling with the wind. He's bowling into the wind with his first spell. We're going to see him bowl a little bit quicker. We're going to see a little bit more movement away from the right-hander.
That's good running. Almost a bit of a collision as well. Good early call from Sarfraz. Doing the right thing as well.
Yeah, the smart thing getting off strike. The best way to face the fast bowler is at the non-striker's end. And he can sit on his bat. Talking about big men too. Big men. 6'4", 6'5". I mean, a collision. You see a collision on the rugby field just across the road, don't you? You don't need one here at Newlands in the cricket ground.
Yeah, it's a couple of big frames. Olivier and KG. There it is. There's the rugby field. Newlands in the background.
As we all know, the Currie Cup isn't there. Currie Cups in KwaZulu-Natal, the mighty Sharks. The Shark Tank, just to let all you Cape Townians know that it's the only team in this country that can play rugby, proper rugby. Champions. Wonderful finalists, the Sharks. Like the Chelsea football team in the UK. Just beautiful, beautiful. Winding up our director, our producer, the man, the Liverpudlian supporter on my left-hand side. 65 for 5.
First one for the other day. That's right.
3 balls left in the session. But Dwight, again standing nice and tall, Shan Masood.
Yeah, he is standing nice and tall, Hazy. It's because he's keeping his eyes still. See, he's going down the wicket and he's just talking to Sarfraz about getting through these next couple of balls. 66 for 5. Pakistan would have been wanting to be 2 down. Sarfraz talked at the toss and said we would have batted. Well, he wouldn't have been happy to won the toss, 66 for 5. And he certainly won't be happy, captain, now. The coach won't be happy. He was very vocal after the last test match about the batting.
I think that's an important point. When you look at the scorecard and you see 66 for 5, you must think the surface is a snake pit going all over the place, and it certainly hasn't swung. There's been very minimal seam movement, considering it's the first session of a 5-day test match. I think it's just been purely the pace, the bounce and the consistency, as we see a split screen between Shan Masood and the Pakistan captain. Different techniques and styles. It's tucked away down to third man. He's on a little bit of a roll now, Sarfraz. It's the end of the 24th, 70 for 5.
We'll have to wait and see what the umpires decide. We might be able to get one more over in as well. It's nicely worked. Suddenly this game for Sarfraz is completely different from when it was about 15 minutes ago. They've decided to get one more in.
Yeah, there might be some viewers out there watching this and saying technique's not everything. Now, technique isn't everything. This is a mental game. It's how you deal with pressure. It's how you get to where you get to. But when you're struggling, you've got to go back to the simplest form of where you started, how you started. I cannot, for the life of me, agree with anyone who said that Sarfraz, when he's batting his best, is moving as much as he's moving at the moment. So there would be my counter-argument to anybody talking about technique. Yes, he's got his own way. Played a lot of cricket with him in the PSL for the Quetta Gladiators, and the way he leads the team, the way he is around the dressing room, the way he is on the field. He's a lot stiller when he's playing his best, is Sarfraz.
Why do you think Pakistan wanted to bat first, Graham? Help me out there. I can't for the life of me work that one.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, they were 50-50. I had a brief chat with Mickey. He wasn't certain himself. I would say, yeah, the mindset of their players Yeah, with a fresh surface. Maybe they should have taken the punt and bowled first. But anyway, 71 for 5. It's very difficult to justify it.
I do know they were quite surprised by the pitch when they came out and saw it for the first time a couple of days ago. They didn't think it'd be as lively or as grassy as it was then, and if anything, it's pretty much the same sort of green colour then now as it was 2 days ago. It hasn't browned up too much. Oh, that's a solid shot. That's nicely played. That's gone for 4. That's really well controlled.
Yeah, that's an excellent shot from Sarfraz. He's finding his rhythm now. A couple of boundaries. Not the best period for South Africa. They bowled really well up until this point. Just a couple of soft deliveries before lunch, yeah. But hey, just to back up that point, I said it just a few minutes earlier. I don't think the surface has played badly. There hasn't been a huge amount of seam. There hasn't been a huge amount of swing. It's just purely the ability to deal with the pace of South Africa, the relentlessness of the 4-pronged seam attack. And the batters have been found wanting technically and mentally rather than the surface playing its role. Granted, in South Africa you expect pace, you expect bounce. That's part of the challenge of playing in this part of the world, and the Pakistan top order has been found wanting.
Tight at that time, looking for 1, not there, sent back early by Shah Massoud, which is the right call. Thumbs up from the captain. That is the end of the first session of the second test match. It's a wonderful first session for South Africa. I guess they'll be a little frustrated, as Graham was saying, in the last 10 minutes. Weren't up to their normal standards, but gee, it's been terrific for a long time so far in the second test. Steyn, Rabada, Philander as well right at the start, and also Olivier. So this pack, hunting in a group of 4, have done a really good job after, I guess somewhat surprisingly, being asked to have a bit of a bowl. Should I say winning the toss and electing to bowl. Sarfraz, by the way, said to Mark because had he won the toss he was going to have a bat anyway, so both captains were happy. But really good work from South Africa. It's rare that you pick up 5 wickets inside the first session of a test match. There's the coach, Otis Gibson, no doubt delighted with the work that his charges have done. Would have been a really tough call to omit Olivier for this test match after his wonderful work at Supersport Park, but he's already picked up a couple of wickets. As we look at what's happened so far, Imam for 8, Fakazis for 1, Shah Massoud not on 17, 48 balls. He's someone who I've watched over the years, and I've liked his sound, solid technique with a bit more time to play. Azhar Ali has got himself in a bit of a trap, I think, of playing a bit front on. He's gone just for 2. Assad played a couple of nice shots for his 20 off 26, and Baba got a ball which didn't bounce too much. Was caught by Captain du Plessis for just a couple, and Sarfraz run a ball pretty much for his 16, and the bowlers will be happy. 2 for Olivier, 1 for Rabada. Philander a little bit loose, I guess, in the last couple of overs he bowled. 1 for 19, his return at the lunch break, and Dale Steyn 6 overs, 1 for 16. But overall those numbers are quite special. So South Africa will be going to lunch extremely pleased with the work they've done this morning in the first couple of hours, and it's a couple of hours that have certainly belonged to South Africa. Okay, time for us to take a break. We'll be back shortly with Mark Nicholas.